Hello and welcome to UC Irvine versus Utah State women's basketball. We're in for a good one tonight. My name's Jaden Johnson, and I'm going to be here for the entirety of tonight's game. I'm going to be here for this entire season as well, broadcasting Utah State women's basketball here on Aggie Radio 92.3 KBLU in Logan. For future reference, all women's games which conflict with men's games, as tonight's does, as the men are down playing at Weber State, will be broadcast only online. And so, just how you're listening right now, on the Aggie Radio website, we will have a stream going for all women's games. When the women's games do not conflict, those will be over the air, and you can listen live on your radio, 92.3 in Logan. Anyway, Utah State coming in for their season opener, UC Irvine's season opener as well. These two teams faced off last season. In that game, Utah State won 66-52. That was in Logan. So Utah State looking to keep that trend going. UC Irvine trying to get a little bit of revenge. Utah State, all time in the series, trails UC Irvine. The Anteaters have a 7-4 lead in the series, dating back to the days when Utah State was in the Big West and they faced off every season. Utah State entering, coming off of a 17-15 season last year. Very young team, very inexperienced last season. In fact, the most inexperienced team in the entire nation last season. Still got them to a 17-15 record, went 9-9 overall. UC Irvine, 5-26 last season, 3-13 in the Big West for an 8th place finish in their conference. Anyway, we're going to have a interview here from Utah State coach Jerry Finkbeiner here in just a moment. But let's set the stage for you as we get things ready to go. Utah State, as I mentioned, very young, very inexperienced team last season. This season, though, while they are still the second youngest team in the nation, only 2 upperclassmen on the entire roster, each of whom are juniors, they bring back all 5 starters. So it is a young team, but it's not an inexperienced team. 5 starters returning, plus several players that started at points. And you've also got Victoria Price, although she's not back with the team yet, but she started 2 seasons ago. So, I mean, honestly, 6.5 starters coming back for Utah State should be a really good, really fun team to watch this season. UC Irvine bringing back just a few players from last season. Really not a ton of experience for this team. It's almost an entirely new team, and you'll hear Coach Finkbeiner talk about that in the interview that we're about to play. But UC Irvine brings back, I believe, just 4 players off of last year's roster, and it's really kind of remarkable what they're doing here. Just bringing in all kinds of transfers. They had 5 different players last season that had to redshirt because of transfers that each came from other schools across the country. So 10 newcomers total on this year's UC Irvine squad. Anyway, let's cut to this interview that we had with Coach Jerry Finkbeiner earlier today, just talking about this year's squad and talking about the matchup tonight with the Anteaters.
Okay, Coach, first game of the season. You feeling ready? You feeling good to go?
Yeah, we've used our allotted 30 preseason practices. I'm sure Irvine has too, and it's time to play, as the men are tonight also. It's just this time of the year now, you just hope that all your preparations are put into place to win the first game out.
So you bring back all 5 starters, and so a lot of experience in that sense. What are the biggest strengths of this year's team?
Well, I would hope, and I'm expecting to be very few surprises. You know, when you have a lineup that you're kind of patching together for the first time, like last year, we experimented a lot, had several starting lineups. You know, this year, you know, hopefully there'd be little or no surprises, and surprises meaning bad decisions, bad turnovers, things like that. So, you know, taking that next step up as the maturity of a team has to do with experience, kind of been there and done that type of attitude, and that's what I'm expecting tonight's game, that there'll be very few surprises and we can play a nice, clean game with, and hopefully beat our opponent in the turnover standard as far as them having us more than us.
So despite bringing back all 5 starters, it's the second youngest team in the entire country. You got 2 upperclassmen on the whole roster. Is it kind of different coaching a team that young, or is it similar to what you've experienced in the past?
Well, it was last year. We're the youngest team in the country. This year, the second youngest, so still have no seniors on the team. But really, this team, even though we're so young, in the academic standing, eligibility nature of the rule, but like I said, we have 5, even I think we have 6, maybe 7 girls on our roster that started sometime last year. So that's what I meant earlier in that first question you asked, is that hopefully there'll be very few surprises because we do have starting, returning experience.
Well, and on the flip side, UC Irvine, this is a team that really doesn't bring back many players from last year. It's almost an entirely new squad. Now, you guys took care of business last year and beat them at the Spectrum. But what are you expecting from UC Irvine this year, and what's that team like?
Well, it's a second-year coach, and she came from a successful program at New Mexico State. And it looks like they're trying to build their program with transfers and junior college players. So those things are given that, it's hard to know exactly what to expect. Probably very little turnover maybe as far as the game plan they had last year against us. I'm expecting that we kind of have to learn on the job tonight with what are they going to do. They could play 40 minutes of zone. They could play 40 minutes of man defense. They've had 2 scrimmages. They have not had exhibition games, so we have no live tape on them. We just have some verbal reports. And one scrimmage they went exclusively man, and one scrimmage exclusively zone. So we'll, like I say, learn on the job. And Eliza West, our point guard, Olivia West, who will start as our 2 guard, but also back up Eliza, the 1 guard. A lot of it's on them to interpret what's on the floor and make decisions, like I say, on the fly.
So it's kind of a little bit different to start on the road. It seems like the team typically starts at home. Is that something that you're comfortable with? Like, do you want to start on the road, or would you prefer to be at home?
Yeah, I'd definitely prefer to be at home. Just the comfort zone of our own beds, no travel, the Spectrum. We've practiced 30 times this year and all the off season, so it's tougher on the road. There's a reason why home teams are usually favored. And, for example, as you know, traveling with us yesterday, started off an hour and a half late out of Salt Lake City Airport, get in, throw the stuff on the bed in the hotel, put the shoes on, go do a practice. So the unexpected happen on the road. You just got to, you can't prepare for it, but you got to expect it, the unexpected. But I'd much rather open at home. But last year's team, Jaden, we actually performed better on the road than we did at home for the first half of the season. So it's not an intimidating place by any means because these girls had good success last year on the road.
So how big is this first game, just to get the momentum and everything swinging in your way?
I think it's really big. The first 3 or 4 games of the seaseason, if you start out ahead, 3-0, 3-1, 4-0, 4-1, something like that, then you've got a good jump start on your competition. If you start off, 1-3, 2-2, 2-3, you're always fighting that 500, win-loss standard. So it'd be nice if we can get today's win. We come home next week against Dixie State at noon on Tuesday and University of Arizona on Friday, so 2 straight home games the following week. So if we can get today, then we'll go back to the Spectrum and hopefully win out at home and have that start that we'd like to have.
Well, Coach, I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to see this year's team, and good luck tonight.
All right, so I thought some of those comments from Coach Finkbeiner were really pretty interesting. Specifically talking about, I mentioned that this is a really new team, but specifically talking about just how they've had to prepare for them. We are going to take just a quick break because it looks like we're about to have the national anthem song. So we'll cut out for just a moment and be right back with the rest of our pregame. All right, so national anthem is completed, and they're just about to announce starting lineups for each team. Going back to that interview from Coach Finkbeiner, he referenced that these are two teams that have played each other quite a bit. They played each other last season, where Utah State was able to defeat UC Irvine in Logan. But at the same time, he said that it's really kind of tough because they have nothing to rely on when it comes to preparation against this team, because UC Irvine lost so many players last season, and like I mentioned, they only bring back 4 players from last year's squad. So it's an entirely new team. 5 players that have transferred from other schools on their team now, including a couple transfers from West Virginia. You've got a transfer from Los Angeles Valley College, a transfer from Utah Valley, familiar Utah State foe, a transfer from Georgetown, transfer from Michigan State. So, and all those players are playing this year, had to redshirt last year, and so they weren't a part of that team. I expect that this will be a much better team than we saw last season. Should give Utah State a good match here. And you heard later on in the interview Coach Finkbeiner talking about starting up on the road. Obviously, it's not preferable. Obviously, if you're Utah State, you want to start at home. But that's just kind of how it goes, you know. You don't have a ton of say over that kind of thing. And so you just kind of have to go with what you're given. Utah State starting things off here in Irvine before returning home for a couple of games next week. They just announced starting lineups, so we'll go ahead and read over those. Utah State will be starting with Eliza West, the sophomore guard, Olivia West, sophomore guard, Shannon Duffasey, sophomore forward, Rachel Brewster, the junior guard, and Deja Mason, the junior center. UC Irvine, on the flip side, they're going to be starting with Lauren Psyche, sophomore guard, Andy Ritter, the junior guard, Talia Garza, freshman forward, Morgan Green, a junior guard. I'm sorry, not Morgan Green. I'm sorry, Yazzie Dasula, sophomore guard, and Jordan Sanders, the freshman forward. So you hear a lot of youth in that as well. I mean, they're starting off with 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. So really not that much of a different situation from what Utah State has. These are 2 really similar teams. And that should play out through the game. Coach Finkbeiner also talked about that because they aren't familiar with this UC Irvine team as they presently sit, and because there's so many question marks, it makes in-game adjustments that much more important. And so, maybe Utah State will have a hard time towards the beginning trying to sense what the UC Irvine defense is going to throw at them. He said, we don't know if we're going to face a zone defense, if it's going to be a man defense the entire time. All they have is film from a couple of scrimmages. So it'll be interesting to see and watch point guard Eliza West adjust. Luckily for the Aggies, they have the freshman of the year from the Mountain West last season on their side at point guard. UC Irvine, I think the key player that I'm keeping an eye out for from the Anteaters is Andy Ritter. She is one of just 2 returning starters that are in the starting lineup tonight. And I apologize, she's actually the only returning starter that's in the starting lineup tonight. There's a couple others that returned that aren't starting for the Anteaters, so they got passed up. But Andy Ritter was phenomenal last season. She broke the school 3-point single-season record with 87 three-pointers last season. That's something over 3 per game. So just a phenomenal player there. Utah State is really going to have to watch her from deep. She brought in 21 points per game, started all 31 games, 3.3 rebounds per game, 1.4 assists per game. Just a wonderful player. We have tipped off here in Irvine at the Bren Event Center. Utah State wins the tip, and they will begin with possession. Eliza West, the returning freshman of the year, the sophomore phenom for the Aggies. Eliza West up towards the wing, drives in, passes it out, it's taken away. Irvine was there to pick it off. Yazzie Dasula with the steal. Yazzie Dasula steps back behind the 3-point line from the wing and knocks it down. Irvine up 3-0. Utah State coming back in transition fast, though. Olivia West wastes no time, takes it to the hoop, but misses the layup. Irvine coming back, already a 3-0 lead for the Anteaters. Jordan Sanders takes it to the rim, can't connect, and Utah State picks up the rebound. So for Utah State, the Shannon Duffy brought it down the court. Duffy goes in, hooks it over to Mason. Mason guarded heavily in the key. It's 1-on-2, but Mason gets fouled. Oh, I'm sorry, it looks like Mason fouled her player, and so turnover on Utah State. Irvine will get the ball back. Irvine up 3-0. Irvine finds Jordan Sanders in the corner. Sanders tries to kick it in, but Deja Mason's there to pick it off. Aggies coming back in transition. Here's Eliza West up at the top of the arc. Gets it to Duffy, who tries to drive, but it's stolen by Andy Ritter. Utah State offense can't get anything to solidify so far tonight. UC Irvine's Yazzie Dasula drives in up the left side and is fouled. She will head to the line. 3-0 lead for the Anteaters, trying to extend that here as Yazzie Dasula will step up. The foul is going to be credited to Olivia West, so her first for the team. Dasula's first free throw clinks off the front of the rim. Dasula taking one more. Minute and a half in. Second shot also clinks off. UC Irvine fights for the rebound but can't quite pick it up. Instead, Duffy grabs it and she brings it back down the court in transition. Duffy looking for an open player, finds Olivia West. Olivia West made her way into the starting lineup tonight after not starting last season. Rachel Brewster takes a hard drive up the left side, can't get it, but Deja Mason gets the rebound. Mason puts up a shot, goes for the rebound again off of a UC Irvine player, so out of bounds. Utah State will throw it in from the baseline. Good effort there by Deja Mason to keep that play alive. Utah State just can't get their shots to fall, though. Still scoreless. Inbound goes to Brewster. Brewster, top of the arc. Brewster over to Eliza West on the wing. Eliza West going one-on-one, kicks it out to the right corner, and Olivia West knocks down the first three of the game. Utah State on the board. Corner three, ties it up. Irvine, Yazzie Dasula shoots a long shot from the top of the arc, misses, but Irvine picks up the rebound. Dasula again. Dasula drives this time, kicks it out to the right. On the key, finds Talia Garza, but Garza can't get the shot to fall. So Utah State, we're almost 3 minutes in here, still just 3-3. Aggies hoping to get something rolling offensively. Deja Mason comes up to set the screen for Olivia West. Olivia West drives off the screen, gets fouled, and she will head to the line. That was Talia Garza with the foul. So it'll be 2 shots for Olivia West. Olivia West, the only points of the game so far tonight. She hit a corner 3 to start things off for Utah State. Olivia West appeared in all 32 games last season for Utah State, but didn't start one. So a little bit interesting to see her in the starting lineup, but she was doing really well in practice. She hits her first shot, and second shot up and good. But just shows that Olivia West been working a lot. Single-handedly has all 5 of Utah State's points tonight. Utah State up 5-3. 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. UC Irvine gets it inside, finds Talia Garza, who puts it in the hoop easily, but Utah State comes flying back in transition. Brewster thinks she got fouled. I think she did too, but no call by the ref. Coach Finkbeiner isn't happy. It would have been a shooting foul. Instead, Irvine brings it back in transition. Lauren Psyche with a beautiful move into the paint and gets it up over Mason for a UC Irvine bucket. UC Irvine now up 7-5. Eliza West hands it off to Duffy at the top of the arc. Duffy over to the corner once again. Olivia West launches it up, can't quite connect, rolls in and out of the rim. Was looking for her 6th, 7th, and 8th points of the night. That close, though, couldn't quite get it to fall. Timeout as we are having a couple of substitutions here. Looks like Jessie Gear is checking in for Utah State, as is Haley Bassett. And Eliza West and Deja Mason coming out for the Aggies. Utah State will have the inbound. They have it under the hoop. Brewster inbounds it to Duffy. Gets it up to Bassett, up at the elbow. Bassett knocks down a good 15-footer to tie things up. 7-7, 6 minutes to play. UC Irvine bringing it quick in transition, though not wasting any time. Kind of fumbles the ball away, but under the basket is Sabrina Engelstad to pick it up. She goes up, misses the shot. UC Irvine grabs the rebound, though. Aggies having a hard time boxing out defensively. UC Irvine near the wing. Autumn Baumgartner launches one and connects. Baumgartner, the Georgetown transfer, gives UC Irvine the lead. Now up 10-7, and a pass is intercepted. UC Irvine, Utah State couldn't even get it past half court. UC Irvine was there to steal it. Launches up a corner three. That was Haley Talbert who shot it. Couldn't quite get it. Utah State gets the rebound and bringing it back. Olivia West flying into the lane. She's been super aggressive tonight. She gets fouled as she tries to get into the lane. That was Brooke Bayman for UC Irvine picking up the foul. So Olivia West, already 5 points. She's going to head to the line to try and add to that total. Olivia West will have 2 shots. Utah State down 10-7, make that 10-8 as she makes the first. So really making the most of her first career start. Takes the second shot and she makes that one as well. So 1 point game here, 10-9. It's been a good one. UC Irvine bringing it back. They really like to push it fast in transition as they kick it inside to Sabrina Engelstad, who puts it up easily for the bucket. UC Irvine now 12-9. So Utah State kind of trying a full court press, not turning out so well for them, as UC Irvine is having no problem breaking it and getting quick transition buckets that way. Utah State will throw it in. Duffy gets it into gear. Irvine coming with a press of their own, but Utah State gets past half court. But Olivia West tried to pass it to Duffy. Duffy couldn't quite hold on to it. And it went, looks like they're going to call a backcourt violation. So turnover for Utah State. Timeout is called. Utah State now trailing 12-9, just over halfway through the first quarter. So pretty good start for the Anteaters, really looking like a solid team, much better than what we saw from them last season. And they are already, 12 points 5 minutes into the game. Pretty good shooting percentage for UC Irvine. They're knocking down 45.5% already in this game. So coach is talking to the teams. Utah State's leading scorer so far, Olivia West, far and away with 7 of the team's 9 points. For UC Irvine, it's really kind of spread all around between a multitude of players. Their leading scorer, Yazi Desula, with just 3. So really doing a nice job of distributing the ball, getting it all around. Team's about to head back out onto the court to resume play. Aggies again trailing 9-12. 4 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the first half. So it looks like it was a turnover on Irvine. My apologies. And Utah State has the ball, inbounds it near midcourt. Brewster gets fouled just at the wing near the 3-point arc. Just a contact foul, so Utah State will take it out of bounds. Duffy throws it in to Olivia West. Olivia West been very aggressive. Kicks it back out to the right to Brewster. Brewster driving. Takes the shot from about 10 feet on the baseline, but foul called on Utah State off the ball, so that won't count. Didn't go in anyway. So Irvine brings it up past half court after the Utah State turnover. Baumgartner has it up top of the arc, gets it over to Psyche. Utah State playing very aggressive defense right now. Irvine having a hard time breaking through. Foul is called on UC Irvine's Haley Talbert as she was trying to get into the lane. Ran right into Shannon Duffy, who had her feet planted. Good job by Utah State defense and Shannon Duffy to cause that foul and the turnover for UC Irvine. So Utah State just 2 of 8 so far tonight. Jesse Gear near the corner, fakes out a defender, goes to pass looking for Olivia West, but well over her head and out of bounds. Aggies need to clean up the turnovers if they want to have a shot at this one. Already for Utah State, 6 turnovers in tonight's game. Almost as many turnovers as points. It's 12-9 UC Irvine, 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Aggies going with the full court press. Irvine breaks it and gets a wide open 3 for Yazzie DeSula, who misses. Made one earlier. Yazzie DeSula runs in and grabs a rebound though and can't connect on an easy shot. Utah State instead back in transition. Emmy Harris, the freshman, goes driving. Thought she got fouled. No call. Good defense by UC Irvine and Jordan Sanders. So 12-9 Anteaters. Baumgartner goes driving hard. Can't get it to fall on the layup, and neither team can wrangle in. The rebound goes out of bounds off of UC Irvine. Aggies will throw it in. Utah State leading the rebounding battle 10-8 so far tonight, but it's just those turnovers that are killing them. As I mentioned, 6 turnovers already to UC Irvine's 2. So Emmy Harris has it near the wing up the 3-point. Gets it to Duffy. Duffy kicks it into Duffy kicks it into Bassett. Bassett gets the easy points for Utah State. Utah State now just down by 1, 12-11. Aggies double Lauren Psyche. Finds the open man in the corner. Looks like it was Deja Blanks, but Blanks can't connect on the 3-point shot. Bringing it back, and right away, Utah State's Shannon Duffy just fires one up from the top of the arc. Can't get it. Aggressive defense by Utah State's Olivia West, though, gets it back for Utah State. I'm sorry, Eliza West gets it back for the Aggies after Irvine grabbed the rebound. Emmy Harris was looking inside to Shannon Duffy. Looking inside to Haley Bassett. Just threw an errant pass, though, over her head, and that's another Utah State turnover. So for the Aggies, Deja Mason checking back in, as is Lindsey Jensen and Olivia West, as Gear, Harris, and Duffy all check out. UC Irvine with the ball, up 12-11, 2 minutes to go. Scoring really slowing down. Only 1 bucket in the last 3 minutes for either team. But UC Irvine breaks the streak as they find Talia Garza in the paint. Puts up the layup to give UC Irvine now 14-11 lead. West brings it back in transition, finds over near the lane, finds Haley Bassett. Bassett drives in, gets points. Nice lay-in for Haley Bassett. In transition, though, Irvine finds a wide-open 3. Autumn Baumgartner shot it from the wing. Couldn't get it to fall. Aggies grabbed the rebound. Now bringing it down is Lindsey Jensen. Jensen finds West over on the right side. West dribbling around. West finds Eliza West. Screen set by Deja Mason, and West makes a beautiful move into the lane. Puts it up with her left hand. Off the fingertips and into the hoop. Aggies now in the lead, 15-14. Once again, Irvine comes down fast in transition. Kick the ball inside to Talia Garza, who just couldn't quite wrangle it in. So Aggies just keep going with the full court press. And it's one of those things, when it works, it works. But Irvine not having too much of a problem breaking through it so far. Utah State ball. Irvine going with a full court press of their own. But Utah State breaks through it pretty easily. Eliza West finds Olivia West in the corner, knocks down another corner three. Olivia West is on fire tonight, having one heck of a game. Already 10 points for the sophomore. But back on the other side, Irvine. Psyche has it near the top of the arc. Psyche getting the ball around. Screen set, and it's an illegal screen on UC Irvine. Just plowed over Olivia West, and so Utah State going to get it back. So the good news, the bad news for Utah State is they just keep turning the ball over. The good news is that now they're getting some help from UC Irvine. Now 5 turnovers from the Anteaters to Utah State 7. So Aggie ball, and Eliza West finds Mason. Mason tries to cut it in, looking for Price, but it's taken away by UC Irvine. Another Aggie turnover. Here's Psyche. Psyche drives in, then kicks it out to Desula. Desula being heavily guarded by Eliza West. Fantastic defense by the Aggie defender, but she's called with the foul. Got a little too aggressive there. Eliza West playing very aggressive, very fun to watch defense, though, and making life hard on Yazzie Desula. So UC Irvine inbounds it under the hoop, gets it in straight away to Sanders. Sanders shoots a 15-footer, can't get it to fall. Goes out of bounds, Utah State ball. Brewster inbounds to Olivia West. Sorry, to Eliza West. Clock runs down though. Aggies can't get a shot off to finish out the quarter. And they're going to go into the first quarter break trailing 18 to 4. I'm sorry, leading 18 to 14. And we're going to take a quick commentary break here at the quarter break, and we'll come back in just a few moments with the second quarter of action. Utah State, though, 18-14 lead here in Irvine. And welcome back, Brent Event Center here at UC Irvine. Aggies leading 18 to 14 after one quarter. Leading the way for the Aggies is sophomore Olivia West, who has 10 points already tonight, 2 of 3 from 3, and 4 free throws on top of that. So fantastic night so far for Olivia West in her first start. Right off the bat, Irvine inbounds the ball to start out the second quarter, and foul called on Utah State on the ball. So Irvine will throw it in again, this time near midcourt. Irvine's Lauren Psyche, so fast, passes her defender, shoots one from the free throw line, and that goes in. Psyche putting on a show. Irvine coming with the full court press. Aggies break it by passing it up to Olivia West. Olivia West goes back to Eliza West. Eliza looking to make something happen. Finds Lindsey Jensen over near the wing Foul called off the ball, though, on Utah State's Deja Mason, who set the screen to get her open. So another Utah State turnover on that foul. Story of the game so far for Utah State, though they are leading 8 turnovers. And Irvine looked to get the ball into the paint, but Deja Mason was there to pick it off easily. Coming back in transition, Eliza West kicks it in, finds Lindsey Jensen, who's fouled under the hoop. So Lindsey Jensen will head to the line, looking to extend this Utah State lead. Aggies up 18-16, just a minute into the second quarter here. Jensen will head to the line. Jensen redshirted last season on an injury redshirt, but played 2 seasons ago as a freshman. Only played 4.7 minutes per game as a freshman, though, only playing in 14 games, so didn't really get a huge workload then. Coming back, though, after her red shirt, she's technically a sophomore this season. First shot's missed. The second one missed as well. Can't get either to fall. So Aggie lead will stay 18-16. UC Irvine coming back in transition, distributing the ball very well outside of the arc. And they get it to Jordan Sanders, who takes a beautiful move, gets it in for a 5-foot jumper, but can't connect. Coming back, Brewster throws a beautiful pass out to the left side for West, who gets it to Duffy. Duffy puts it in the hoop. Utah State now 20-16. Aggie sticking with the full court press. Irvine breaks it. Over on the left side. Good looking shot from Jordan Sanders. About 20 feet. Can't get it to fall though, but Irvine grabs rebound after rebound. Yazzie DeSula was there, picked up about 3 rebounds in a row offensively. Just kept putting it back up, couldn't get it to fall. Utah State in transition turns it over again as Brooke Bayman was there to take it away, brings it all the way back and puts it in the hoop. Disaster for Utah State there. And UC Irvine now trailing just by 2. 20-18 is the score. Aggies bring it back though. Olivia West's shot can't fall from about 10. Irvine grabs the rebound and bringing it back in transition. Slows things down as DeSula sends it all the way across the court. And Baumgartner drives in, gets a nice look, can't get it to fall. Rebound by Duffy. Olivia West kicks it over to Eliza West outside the arc. Eliza West back to Olivia West. Aggie's patient. Olivia West pops it up from the wing, can't quite get it to fall. Once again, in and out. She's feeling it, and the shots are looking good, but that one can't connect like her 2 others did. So Utah State making a substitution as looks like Lindsey Jensen comes out. And it looks like, I believe Haley Bassett. Yeah, Haley Bassett checking back in. So Irvine with the ball. Irvine, a lot of movement outside the arc. And Andy Ritter drives in, can't get it to fall, but Irvine grabs the rebound, puts it right back up. Utah State having a really hard time boxing out. Irvine picking up rebound after rebound. It is 16 rebounds to 16. However, it's the offensive rebounds that are really killing Utah State. 8 offensive rebounds for UC Irvine to the Aggies 3. So tie ball game, 20-20, 7 minutes to go. Brooke Bayman went flying into the lane and she was fouled. Third foul called on Eliza West, and so she's going to check out. Jessie Gear will come in to take her place, so she's in a little bit of foul trouble. As I said, 3 personal fouls already for Eliza West. Irvine inbounds under the hoop, and Brewster is there to take it away on the inbound. Beautiful defense by Brewster. Thought about shooting the 3. Instead, gets it back to Olivia West. West kicks it back over to Brewster on the wing. Hands it back over to West. West to Duffy, top of the arc. Back to Brewster. Brewster thinking about shooting it. Instead, she drives in about 5 feet, shoots from the free throw line, can't get it to fall. Rebound picked up by Blanks. Coming back in transition fast. Irvine isn't wasting any time tonight. Bayman kicks it out. Finds Blanks. Blanks back to Bayman. Bayman drives in. Can't get it to fall. Blanks shoots from the baseline about 10 feet out. Can't get that one. Aggies pick up the rebound as Jesse Gear was there to pick it up. So Duffy kicks it inside to Bassett. Bassett puts the ball up. She's fouled. She's going to head to the line. As it was a foul on the shot. Foul called on Sabrina Engelstead. That's her first for UC Irvine. So 2 free throws coming up for Haley Bassett. Bassett, the sophomore forward out of Layton, Utah, can't get her first to fall. Aggies struggling from the line. It was 57% before that. It's going to go down after that miss. Bassett with her second. Gets this one to fall. Aggies now up 21-20. 6 minutes remain here in quarter number 2. Irvine breaking the Aggies press with speed every time. Psyche driving in on the left side. Puts up a wild shot. Up behind her head. Can't get it to fall. Duffy was there to pick it up. Bringing it back. Duffy now has it. Top of the arc. Duffy passes a short pass over to Gear. Aggie's going to reset with Olivia West at point. Gear kicks it inside. Finds Duffy. Duffy gets a close shot. Looked good. She thinks she was fouled, though. No call. Irvine picks up the rebound, and they come back in transition. Tried to get it into the key, but good defense by Shannon Duffy to get it right back for Utah State as it was deflected out of bounds. So Lauren Psyche is given the turnover. Deja Blank's going to check back in for UC Irvine, as is Jordan Sanders, Yazzie Dasula, and Talia Garza. So Aggies bringing it back now, leading 21-20. Olivia West playing the point. Finds Brewster over in the corner. Brewster hands it in. Kicks it back out to West. West makes another three. Olivia West is on fire tonight. 13 points for the sophomore in her first career start. Coming back in transition, though, UC Irvine finds a wide open Deja Blanks in the corner, who matches that three with one of her own, keeping the Aggie lead at just one. Utah State breaks through the Irvine press. Here's Shannon Duffy driving in, kicks it out to the left. 10-foot jumper from the baseline for Haley Bassett. Can't get it to fall. Goes out of bounds. UC Irvine ball. So Utah State up 24-23. Timeout is called. 4:17 to go here in the first half. Utah State being led by Olivia West. 13 points already in this one. Olivia West just playing a fantastic game. 3 of 5 from 3. And she's really keeping the Aggies in this one for UC Irvine. Really kind of spread out between a bunch of players. No player with more than 4 points for the Anteaters. So a really good job of distributing the ball all around. Utah State 8 of 21 for field goals tonight, so shooting 38%. Just a touch better than Irvine, who's shooting 10 of 33 for 30.3%. Each team knocked down 3 from beyond the arc so far. It's been really a game of turnovers, though. Each team, Utah State with 9 already, and UC Irvine with 8. So whichever team can really figure out the turnover thing and get that cleaned up might be able to pull out to a lead. It's just a 1-point game. It's felt a lot like a UC Irvine game. They're playing very well. It's these great three-pointers and the UC Irvine turnovers, though, that are keeping Utah State in it. So play resumes as Irvine has the ball. Lauren Psyche got the inbound and way back in the back court, Jessie Gear came up to defend her on the full court press. Psyche just plowed right through her, though, and so offensive foul called on UC Irvine. So another turnover there for the Anteaters. Utah State will throw it in. Duffy gets it into Bassett, who just hands it over to West. Olivia West out to the left for Brewster. Brewster hands it back over to West. West finds Duffy, top of the arc. Clock winding down. 13 seconds remain in the shot clock. And they kick it inside into the key. Finds Haley Bassett, who puts it up, extending the Utah State lead to 3. The crowd started counting down the clock, and I think that the Aggies almost bought it, but it turned out to work for them. Irvine comes back in transition, knocks down a shot. My view was obstructed. Looks like Deja Blanks knocked it down, though, for the Anteaters. Coming back in transition, Jessie Gear pops up a 3 from the wing. Can't get it to fall. And Irvine gets the rebound. Bassett was there, just couldn't quite get her fingertips on the rebound. So now Baumgartner working her way in. Tries to kick it out. Duffy's there to take it away, though. Duffy, really nice job being in the right place at the right time to get the steal for Utah State. Now Brewster at the point. Kicks it out left. Finds Gear. Screen set by Duffy. Gets Duffy wide open on the pick and pop. Shoots it from 3 on the wing. Can't get it to fall. West was there fighting for it. Couldn't quite get the rebound. And Irvine in transition finds a wide open Talia Garza standing under the hoop to bring UC Irvine now in the lead, 27-26. So Aggies trailing for the first time in a little while, though. It's been close through the entirety of this game. Olivia West gets it out to the corner for Brewster. Brewster to Bassett. Bassett kicks it inside. Finds Duffy, who puts it right up. Beautiful movement by Utah State there to find the open shot for Duffy. So timeout is called. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remain here in the second quarter. Aggies leading 28-27. We'll take just a quick break and come back with the last couple minutes of this quarter. And we're back. Utah State at 28-27 lead here. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the second quarter. In Irvine, UC Irvine with the ball. Inbounds at Olivia West, almost gets the steal in the backcourt as Utah State sticking with the press. Couldn't get the steal and goes for it a second time. She's called for the foul on the second one. UC Irvine is in the bonus, though, so they're going to head to the free throw line on that foul from West. The foul shooter is Brooke Bayman. Bayman, who started last season for the Anteaters, didn't start tonight. Sophomore guard, and she knocks down her first shot. From just up the road in Los Angeles, California, she started 22 games last season. Takes the second shot, gets that one to fall as well. UC Irvine now in the lead, 29-28, just under 2 minutes remain. Olivia West double team in the backcourt by the press. Breaks through, though, as she kicks it to Bassett, who gets it back to her. Aggies cross midcourt. Very aggressive defense by UC Irvine. Olivia West starts to drive in. She's fouled. I believe the foul called on, I believe that was Baumgartner for the Anteaters. I'm sorry, no, Deja Blanks called on the foul. And so Utah State will have the inbound. They're not quite in the bonus yet. Aggies down by 1, inbound to Haley Bassett. Here's Olivia West, top of the arc. Olivia West gets the screen set by Mason, doesn't use it, goes the other side and drives it in for a beautiful lay-in shot. Olivia West playing aggressive defense, almost gets the steal in the backcourt. Irvine breaks through, though. Driving in, Yazzie Dasula gets in, but she walks. Turnover, UC Irvine. Aggies get the ball back. Up 30-29, 1:21 remaining. Olivia West averaged 5.1 points per game last season, and she has 15 tonight. West bringing it down the court for Utah State. Minute 13 remaining. West looks for Brewster, but good defense by the Anteaters. She can't get it there. Aggie's still in possession, though. Gear kicks it back to West. West makes her defender fall over. Defender lost her shoe, and West goes in for the lane. Can't get it, but Deja Mason picks up the rebound and was fouled on the way back up. So Mason going to head to the line. Foul called on Talia Garza, which is her first personal, though. So Deja Mason, that was her second offensive rebound of the night. She knocks down her first shot. Aggies up 31-29, 54 seconds remain. Mason will have one more shot. Second shot won't fall. Rebound grab by Yazzie Dasula. Deja Blanks had to put her shoe back on. She was way in the backcourt fixing her shoe while the entire rest of the team was running a play. And three launched up by Yazzie Dasula near the wing. Can't get that to fall. Aggies get the rebound. Coming back fast in transition. Here comes Eliza West, who checked back in after taking a little bit of a rest on the bench. Eliza West slows things down, though. 21 seconds remain, 14 on the shot clock. Aggies probably hold it to the last second on the shot clock. Screen set by Duffesey. Irvine breaks through, though, playing tight defense. 5 remaining on the shot clock. Here's Brewster. Brewster gets fouled, not on the shot, though. I think she wanted it on the shot, but it was on the ground. Regardless, she will head to the line as that puts them in the bonus. So 9.3 seconds remain. Utah State up 31-29 with a couple of free throws upcoming for probably the top shooter on the team, and Rachel Brewster. Brewster knocks down the first. Brewster shot 77% from free throw line last season, which did lead the team. So first shot gives Utah State a 32-29 lead. Here comes the second. And she knocks that one down as well. Aggies up by 4. 9 seconds remain. Irvine inbounds it, bringing it back. Here's Bayman. Bayman kicks it up, gets it to Ritter. Ritter just launches it. Tried to get it into the lane to Deja Blanks, but couldn't get the shot to fall. And so we're going to head to halftime. Utah State, a 4-point lead at halftime. Kind of a little bit of what we expected. I mean, Utah State did beat UC Irvine pretty well last season. However, as I mentioned, UC Irvine just an entirely new team, really, from what they had last year. You've got 5 transfer players. You've got 10 newcomers overall for the Anteaters, and so I think Utah State played a lot of that first half just kind of trying to feel out the Anteaters, and you could feel it starting to get clicking towards the end of the first half. We're going to see what adjustments they make, though, going into halftime. I imagine Coach Finkbeiner has plenty of ideas about what to do in the second half, so we're going to head to halftime. We'll take a quick break, come back with a little bit of halftime talk here in just a few minutes. But Utah State up 33-29 here in Irvine, California. And welcome back, Bryn Event Center here at UC Irvine, where Utah State has a 33-29 lead over the Anteaters. I'm Jaden Johnson here. Thanks for tuning in to Aggie Radio's broadcast of this game. I mentioned this in pregame, but I feel like it's worth reiterating. Utah State women's basketball will be broadcast all season long on Aggie Radio, and non-conflicting games, so games that are not at the same time as one of the men's games, will be live on 92.3 FM in Logan. Those that do conflict, such as tonight's, will be broadcast right here on AggieRadio.com. So we'll have them regardless, but just to keep that in mind, if it conflicts with the men's games, we'll be carrying the men's games on 92.3, while the women's will be just online here at AggieRadio.com. Utah State 33-29 lead at halftime, led by a fantastic effort by Olivia West. Olivia West got her first career start tonight. She appeared in all 32 games last season, didn't start one, and she's got 15 points in the first half for Utah State. Her career high is 19, which she recorded last season in a game against New Mexico, and she's already well on her way to that. 4 more points, and she'll hit her career high. Utah State shooting in the first half 40.7% to UC Irvine's 32.4, and that's that 40.7 is on 11 of 27 shooting for the Aggies. Each team has only knocked down 3 3-pointers. Aggies 3 of 7, while UC Irvine 3 of 10. It was interesting to hear pregame in the conversation that I played with Coach Finkbeiner, him talking about how this is an entirely new UC Irvine team and they really have no film to look at. They brought 10 newcomers onto this year's squad. While 5 of them were on the team last year, they had to sit because of NCAA transfer rules. And so Utah State really didn't know what to expect, and I think that the first few minutes, really the first quarter, kind of caught the Aggies by storm. They had a hard time keeping up with the Anteaters, but second quarter started to get things together. I know it's just a 4-point game, but the Aggies looked exponentially better towards the end of the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Finkbeiner tells his team at halftime, hear how they come out in the second half. Utah State really getting killed, though, by the offensive rebounds by UC Irvine. Anteaters have 10 offensive rebounds to Utah State's just 4. Defensively, the rebounding battle is going about the same for each team, 16-14 by Utah State, but just so many second chance points, second chance opportunities for UC Irvine that's kind of keeping them in it, and that's been the biggest difference. Looking a little bit more down the stat sheet for Utah State, I mentioned Olivia West with a ridiculous 15 points, but Haley Bassett's having a really nice night as well. 9 points in just 11 minutes of play. So she didn't get the start, came off the bench, but she's really made the most of her time. Behind that, Shannon Duffy with 4, and really dips down from there. But Haley Bassett 4 of 5 tonight. I'd like to see Utah State get it into her a little bit more, and I'm curious to see if that's part of Coach Finkbeiner's second half plan. Leading the rebound battle for Utah State, Shannon Duffy already has 5. Now, last season, Duffy was the leading rebounder for the Aggies, 8.7 per game. So she's right on track to be about where she finished up last season. Really having a nice night, though, on the boards, and she's just been all over the floor. Utah State 3 team steals so far, so I mean they are forcing a lot of Irvine's turnovers, but quite a few of them have been frankly unforced, and it goes the other way as well. Utah State a lot of unforced turnovers. So we've got just about 4 minutes till we're going to resume play here in the second half. We'll take another quick commentary break and come right back at it with half number 2. But it's been a good one. Looking forward to see what happens here in the second half. Once again, Utah State 33, UC Irvine 29. Thanks for listening here on Aggie Radio. And welcome back. Beautiful Irvine, California, where Utah State is up 33-29 at halftime over the Anteaters. I'm Jaden Johnson here getting ready for the second half. We got about a minute to go till the teams resume action. Unfortunate news coming out of Ogden as the Utah State men's basketball team falls to Weber State 65-59. So kind of a tough start for the men's team. Women's team hoping to make things better though for Aggie fans tonight with a 4-point lead at halftime over UC Irvine. Leading the way for the Aggies once again, can't sing enough praises for Olivia West. 15 points, just 4 away from her career high. On the flip side of the ball, just a ridiculous. I mean, for UC Irvine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different players with points. The leading scorer, Taylor Garza, with 6 for. I'm sorry, Talia Garza with 6 for the Anteaters. Taylor Garza, a athlete at Utah State on the soccer team. So Talia Garza with 6 on 3 of 5 shooting. But Irvine, I think really their key to the game so far has just been distributing the ball. They've done a really good job spreading it around, getting everybody involved, and it's kind of keeping Utah State on their toes. Also, breaking that Utah State press has been a little bit too easy for UC Irvine, and it's just getting them all kinds of open shots. When the Utah State defense does play tight on them in beyond half court, it's been really tough for Irvine to get anything going. So the Aggies will start with the ball here in the second half, leading by 4. It's inbounded to Brewster. I'm sorry, Brewster inbounds to Eliza West. West finds Mason over in the corner outside the arc, who just taps it back, gets it to Brewster. Here's Olivia West. West sprinting in, tries to kick it out to the left to Duffy, gets it there, gets it back to West. West, another corner 3. She is on fire from that spot. That's her 4th 3-pointer of the night. 3 of those coming from the corner. 4 of 6 for Olivia West, now has 18 points. Utah State 36-29. Irvine shoots up a 3 of their own. A deep 3 from Yazzie Dasula. It's not her first of the night either, and she's feeling it. We're just going to have a shootout here between West and Dasula. So Aggie's back. Another corner 3, this time from Duffy, same spot. This one goes just a little far, though, and now the team can wrangle in a rebound, goes out of bounds. Irvine will throw it in. So Dasula does have a couple of 3s, but she's taken 8. So she's 2 for 8 for the night, so Utah State might be comfortable letting her continue to shoot, especially a long one as she did last time. Dasula now with the ball, trying to drive in, goes up the left side, guarded by West. Instead, kicks it out to the left and finds Jordan Sanders. Sanders can't connect from about 10 feet. Aggies get the rebound. There's another Shannon Duffy rebound. Gets it to Eliza West, who just drives into the lane, can't get it. Aggies get the offensive rebound, but can't put that back up. Instead, here comes Sanders in transition. Sanders goes up. Great defense, though, by Shannon Duffy to defend without fouling. Unfortunately for the Aggies, though, Irvine gets the offensive rebound, puts it right back up. Then coming back in transition, Rachel Brewster goes right at it. She's fouled by Jordan Sanders, and so Brewster going to head to the line. Good start to the half for Utah State offensively. Now leading 38-34 a couple minutes into the third quarter. Brewster, a couple of shots upcoming. Again, Brewster led the team in free throw percentage last season at 77. So that's definitely who you want shooting if you're Utah State. Brewster connects. So Aggies up 39-34 on the other end. Garza gets fouled down under the basket by Deja Mason. So Mason with the foul. That is her 3rd of the night. I believe they actually called it on Shannon Duffy. My apologies. Her 3rd of the night, though. So Irvine with the ball. Psyche shoots from 15. Can't get it to go. Duffy's there for the rebound. Duffy's been all over the boards. That was Duffy's, I believe, 8th rebound of the night. Aggies in transition, can't get it to go. And UC Irvine now, Psyche kicks it inside, finds an open Talia Garza in the paint. Talia Garza had a lay-in but just couldn't connect. West kicks it over to the right side, finds Brewster, gets it back up to Duffy. Here's Olivia West, sends a bullet into the paint looking for Brewster, but over her head. Brewster really didn't have a shot to bring that one in. Goes out of bounds. Another Utah State turnover as Irvine will throw it in. Here comes Psyche, gets it over to Aaliyah. Sadula sets the screen for Blanks. Aggies get the steal. That was Eliza West there to take it away. Passes up to Olivia West for this easy lay-in. Aggies going with the full court press again. Can't quite trap Psyche. She breaks the press. Gets it to Yazzie Dasula, who makes a beautiful Euro step move up the left side and lays it in. 41-36, Utah State. 6:20 to play here in quarter number 3. Eliza West gets it over to Duffy. Duffy launches a 3 from the wing and nothing but net for Duffy. That's Duffy's 7th point of the night. West credited to assist credited to Eliza West. Back on the other side. Autumn Baumgartner was wheeling and dealing, couldn't get into the lane like she was hoping to. Utah State poked it away and out of bounds off of UC Irvine. So Aggie's really starting to put the pressure on defensively, forcing some turnovers. Utah State will have the inbound up 44-36, biggest lead of the night for the Aggies. "13 UC Irvine turnovers is really what's killing the Anteaters. Utah State with 10 of their own, but a lot of unforced turnovers here lately by the Anteaters. Eliza West, top of the arc, gets it into the high corner for Duffy. Olivia West tries to drive it in. She's blocked going up the right side. Out of bounds off of UC Irvine. Great defense by the Anteaters there. They get it inbounds to Haley Bassett right under the hoop. Bassett goes straight up and is fouled on the shot. It goes in, so and one for Haley Bassett. Beautiful inbound play to find the wide open Haley Bassett. Utah State 46-36, 10-point lead, easily the largest of the game. Bassett's free throw can't go. Rebound by Blanks. Irvin, here's Bayman, high post, finds Deja Blanks. Blanks gets it up back over to Bayman. Bayman goes flying, trying to get into the lane. She charges, knocks down Olivia West. Great defense by West to force a foul, and yet another turnover by the Anteaters. Aggies up 46-36. 5:10 remains, so just over half of the third quarter to play. Brewster gets it into Bassett. Bassett having a nice night. Takes the shot from about 5. The fadeaway can't get it to fall. Here comes Blanks in transition. Blanks flies into the lane. She's fouled as she goes up. Misses the shot. Foul goes to, I believe that was on Brewster. Yep, 22. So Brewster picks up another foul. That is just her first of the night, though, so no foul trouble there. Timeout called. Utah State up 46-36. A couple of free throws coming up for the Anteaters. We'll take just a quick break, 4:57 remaining, and be back with the rest of the action. Yeah, welcome back. Brent Event Center here at UC Irvine, where Utah State has a 46-36 lead in their season opener against the UC Irvine Anteaters. Thanks for joining us here on Aggie Radio for the broadcast of tonight's game. Utah State, as I mentioned, 46-36 lead, but the Anteaters will have a couple of free throws coming up. Deja Blanks heading to the line. Utah State really having a fantastic start to the second half. Blanks knocks down the first, make it 46-37. But at halftime, it was nearly a deadlock. Really close game all the way through the first half, and Utah State starting to try and pull away. Blanks knocks down her second. Irvine, after the timeout, though, not going to make it easy for Utah State. Aggies inbound, but triple team on Olivia West in the back court. Forces the turnover, so UC Irvine really cranking it up here on the full court press. They've been pressing really the whole game, but getting more and more aggressive with it. They get the inbound, and what an inbound play. Throw it into Jordan Sanders. She caught it mid-air, put it right back up before even hitting the ground, and is fouled and makes the shot. That was really just a remarkable play by UC Irvine. I don't know if you draw it up like that or if that's just kind of the thing that happens, but Jordan Sanders going to head to the line, try and finish up this and one. Jesse Gears checking in for Eliza West. Eliza West having a little bit of a foul trouble. That was her fourth, as she was the one called on that. So Aggie's going to try and preserve her for later on in the game. Knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play. Now UC Irvine trailing by 5. Bassett kicks it out, and Olivia West knocks down another 3 for Utah State. Olivia West already had a career high. Now make it 23. She is on fire. 5 of 7 from three-point. Irvine comes back in transition, and they knock down a short jump shot of their own. 49-43 for Utah State. If you're Utah State, though, I think you just got to keep on feeding Olivia West. As I said, 5 of 7 from 3. Duffusy has it, driving in. Duffusy's fouled as she goes up for the shot from a few feet out. Duffusy's going to head to the line. That was for UC Irvine. Jordan Sanders getting called for the foul. So Duffusy heading to the line. Duffusy has 7 points of her own, 7 rebounds. She's having a really solid night. Knocks down the first. Utah State up 50-43. One more coming out for Duffusy. Member of the all-freshman Mountain West team last season, and she knocks down her second. Aggies now up 51-43. Put a stop to the Irvine run. Irvine back in transition. Here comes up the right side, Blanks. Blanks worked her way up the baseline, put up the shot from 10 feet, and got fouled as she did it. So, and one coming up. Blanks has just been tearing it up here this half. Really turning things on and keeping UC Irvine in the game. Blanks now has 9 points. She's going to head up looking for her 10th. 4 minutes remain. 51-45 for Utah State. Make that 51-46 as she knocks down the free throw. 5-point game. Olivia West, the point guard for Utah State, bringing it down the court. Olivia West can't find anybody. Dribbles around, kicks out to the right for Jessie Gear. Gear works it up the baseline. Gear kicks it back out, looking for Bassett. Gets taken away, though. Irvine was there. Talia Garza with the steal. Coming back in transition, flying down the court. They kick it back out to Baumgartner, wide open at the top of the arc. Baumgartner, nothing but net. 3-pointer for UC Irvine. Now a 2-point game. Aggies up 51-49. Beautiful play by UC Irvine. Got the quick transition, found the open man at the top of the arc, and bringing it back. Close game. Aggies with the ball. Olivia West finds Bassett, top of the arc. Bassett thought about shooting instead. Drives in, spins around, shoots as she fades away. Can't get it to go. Definitely chased the rebound, but couldn't get it. UC Irvine bringing it back. Here's Bayman. Bayman out to the right. Finds Talbert in the corner. Talbert works her way in, takes the shot. Can't get it to fall from a few feet out. Gear coming back in transition. Gear taking it up, and she gets it swatted. Beautiful defense in transition by Deja Blanks. Picking up the block. It looks like a foul called. My apologies. So there was contact on it. So Blanks is called with the foul, and Duffy going to head to the free. I'm sorry, Gear going to head to the free throw line for the Aggies. Aggies up 51-49. Jessie Gear's first shot rattles off the rim. No good. Jessie Gear started a good chunk of games last season. And I think a lot of people thought she was going to start this season. But tonight, Olivia West came out in her place. She knocks down the second free throw. And she's going to head to the bench right away as the freshman Harris checks back in for Utah State. Harris has only picked up a few minutes tonight. Bayman breaks through the Utah State press to get it across half court just in time. Kicks it out to Sadula, wide open for three from the wing. Sadula can't get it to go, but picks up her own rebound. Sadula working it back in, kicks it out to the corner three. And shot up by Jordan Sanders. Can't get it to fall. Aggies grab the rebound. Here comes West flying, trying to get in the lane. Instead kicks it over to Brewster. Brewster at the wing. Brewster gets it in. Finds Bassett. Bassett, nice little move. Gets around Ingolstadt and puts it up for the lay-in. Harris playing tight defense on the inbound. Just about gets it, but can't. Instead, Irvine breaks through the press, gets an open layup from Ingolstadt, but doesn't fall. Utah State coming back. Utah State up 54-49. There's Emmy Harris now playing the point. Harris going up against Sadula. Kicks over to Olivia West. West gets it in to Duffy. Duffy working up the baseline. Duffy looks like took too many steps. So she tried to turn it around, get it into the key. Offensive foul called. My apologies. So that's her fourth foul. Getting into a little bit of trouble is Shannon Duffy. Aggies leading 54-49. And just like that, they're going to send in Deja Mason in place of Duffy. Try and keep her out of foul trouble. Mason started the game, but hasn't played a ton. Mason has just 1 point so far tonight. So Irvine coming back. Psyche kicks it out to Sadula for a wide open three. Really made that happen on the screen. And Irvine knocks down another three to keep their hopes alive. 54-52. It seems like every time Utah State starts to pull away just a little bit, Irvine knocks down a big three or gets a three-point play of some sort to keep them in it. And it's been a good ball game to watch. So Emmy Harris running the point now. Hands it off to Olivia West. Olivia West, screen set by Bassett. Uses it. Working in. She forces up a shot from about 22, 23 feet. And foul called on the shot. Kind of pushed herself into it, and Irvine going to fight it, but Utah State will head to the line for a couple of shots. Olivia West trying to add to her career high night. 23 points for the sophomore. Former career high was 19 last season. But, you know, she got the starting nod tonight, and she told coach she's going to make the most of it, apparently. 24 points as she knocks down her first shot of 2. Second shot up. Can't get this one to go. That's her first missed free throw of the night. Was 5 of 5 to that point, now 5 of 6. Sadula in rebound just goes, in transition, goes flying into the lane, gets taken away by Brewster, who brings it back. Brewster over to Harris, and Harris has her first points of the night. That is Harris's first points in an Aggie uniform here in her freshman debut. Back in transition, Psyche chucks it up from about 10, can't get it to go. Utah State gets the rebound, but coming back, Olivia West has it taken away by Psyche. Psyche trying to put on moves, got a little too fancy with it, and she tried a nice little spin move in between the legs and trying to pass it over to her teammate, but goes out of bounds. Psyche had a phenomenal defensive play, but just tried to do a little too much coming back offensively. So a timeout is called. Utah State up 57-52, 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So we'll just stick here for this break. There's 30 seconds on the game clock. 30.4 seconds on the game clock, and 30 on the shot clock. So essentially one possession remaining as Utah State will get the ball. Looking over the team stats for Utah State, they're shooting 45% to 37 from the Anteaters. Aggies 19 of 42 from the floor tonight. Utah State started off kind of cold from 3, but big efforts from Olivia West and a few other players. Now Aggies are shooting 50%, 6 of 12 from 3. Offensive rebounds, seems like Utah State's really been able to slow down the offensive rebounding game from the Anteaters a little bit here, and that's been a big part of Utah State pulling out to a little bit of a lead. What we've seen, though, is over and over again Utah State getting a 5, 7, 10-point lead, and then the Anteaters just playing very pesky on the other end and keeping themselves in it. Utah State certainly a little bit of a mental test to see what they're made of tonight here in the last 10 minutes and 30 seconds of tonight's game. 16 UC Irvine turnovers tonight to 14 from the Aggies. So the Aggies inbound the ball, 30 seconds remain. So essentially the last possession here, and I imagine the Aggies will hold it to the end. Here's Olivia West near midcourt. Olivia West being guarded tightly by Bayman. Works off the screen from Mason. Still with the ball, driving in. She goes up for the shot, and she's fouled. So Aggies elect not to hold it for the last shot, but they're going to get a couple of free throws out of it. So great. Smart move there by Olivia West. So Olivia West will have a couple of free throws upcoming. She was 5 of 5 and then missed her last one. So she's now 5 of 6, and she knocks down the first, so now 6 of 7. 25 points for Olivia West. One more shot upcoming. And this one's good as well. Aggies up 59-52 after that. 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Bayman bringing it down. Bayman gets the screen set by Garza. Kicks it out to the left. Pass too far. Aggies get the steal. Bassett was there to pick it up. Brewster coming down the court. Brewster gets the shot up right before the buzzer. Flying into the lane, but doesn't go. Utah State will lead 59-52 heading into the third quarter break. So really nice quarter from Utah State. UC Irvine keeping themselves in it. As I mentioned, just 3-point plays and pesky defense by the Anteaters, really keeping them alive. We'll take a break here with 1 quarter to play. Aggies up 59-52, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter and the rest of the action. Yeah, welcome back, Brent Event Center. Fourth quarter just about to get underway here between Utah State and the UC Irvine Anteaters. 59-52 Aggie lead. UC Irvine starting with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Aggies being led by Olivia West, 26 points. And behind that, Haley Bassett with 13. Bayman drives into the lane for the Anteaters, puts up a shot. It's an air ball, falls right back down, but goes out of bounds off of a Utah State player, so the Anteaters will throw it in from the baseline. UC Irvine being led by Yazzie DeSula with 11 points, but a couple other players in double digits, and Talia Garza and Deja Blank-Seach with 10. So Anteaters get the first points here of the fourth quarter. Short jumper from UC Irvine. Aggies coming back. Olivia West kicks it out to Emmy Harris. Harris chucks up the three from the wing. No good. Didn't hit the rim. Just bounced off the backboard. Irvine picks it up, takes it back in transition, and Sanders drives into the lane. Gets fouled on the way. Shot doesn't fall, but 2 free throws upcoming for UC Irvine. Now trailing 59-54. So Sanders' first shot falls, nothing but net. 55-59, UC Irvine. Every time they get down, just find a way to keep themselves in it. Second free throw goes as well for Sanders. Sanders, the freshman forward out of Springfield, Missouri, having a great night for UC Irvine in her first game. Emmy Harrison at point guard for Utah State. Finds Brewster. Brewster gets it inside to Deja Mason, who puts up a nice move. Mason only had 1 point going up to that, but now has 3 on a beautiful lay-in. DeSula dribbling outside the arc, gets it over to Sanders. Sanders back up to Bayman. Bayman working against Harris. Harris kicks it out to the left for Bayman. Bayman puts up the shot, but there was a foul called off the ball on Bayman. On DeSula. The foul is given, and so that's her third. Utah State gets it after that turnover. Olivia West gets it into Bassett. Sets the screen for Bassett. Bassett's able to turn around and put up an easy 15-footer unguarded, but can't get it to connect. Instead, Bumgardner grabbed the rebound. Coming back other side of the floor, here's Bayman working against West. Bayman tried to get it in, looking in the post for Garza. Looks like it was deflected out off of the fingertips, though, of Deja Mason. So Irvine with the inbound, gets it to Sanders near the baseline. Sanders hands it out, kicks it inside to Garza. Garza gets a really short jumper, can't get it to go. Utah State had 2 players, though, couldn't get the offensive rebound, or the defensive rebound. Bayman picks up the offensive rebound, goes back up and is fouled. She's going to head to the line. So offensive rebounds continuing to hurt Utah State. 15 offensive rebounds for UC Irvine. Bayman's first shot doesn't fall. Aggies up 61-56. Bayman with 1 more shot upcoming. Bayman knocks down the second, now has 10 on the night. Emmy Harris, the point guard for Utah State, in her first career action as a Utah State Aggie. Kicks it over to Gear. Gear trying to drive it in, defended closely by Bayman. Poked away by UC Irvine, and they're going to pick up another steal. Sanders, quick defense. Sanders kicks it up to the corner for Bumgarner. Bumgarner for 3. Can't get it to fall. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Garza. Looks like tipped out of bounds by Utah State. Must have been off a Duffy. So Utah State will throw it back in. Irvine will throw it in from the baseline. Gets it into Sanders. Sanders, same play we saw earlier, picks it up midair and just puts it right up at the hoop. This time isn't fouled. Doesn't make the shot. Doesn't work quite as well as we saw it did earlier. Utah State comes back down, calls a timeout. Looks like Coach Finkbeiner not exactly happy about what we've seen the last few minutes from Utah State. Irvine just doing a phenomenal job of keeping themselves in this game. A young, inexperienced team, but showing a lot of heart Utah State up 61-57, 7:34 remain. We'll take a quick commentary break and come back with more here in the fourth quarter. And welcome back. 7 minutes, 34 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Aggies with a 4-point lead, up 61-57 on UC Irvine. Aggies called a timeout to regroup, and they're going to have the ball to inbound here as Olivia West will take the inbound. Olivia West, 26 points tonight, a career high by far in her first career start. West inbound to Eliza West. A couple of Irvine players ran into each other. West tries to kick it in, looking for Brewster. Brewster can't quite wrangle it in. It goes off her leg and out of bounds. Dasula, they're playing tight defense for the Anteaters. Bayman in at point for UC Irvine. Bayman going up against West. Kicks it over to Jordan Sanders. Sanders on the wing, driving in, going up against Duffasy, and she gets the easy lay-in. That shot by Sanders brings UC Irvine within 2, 61-59, 7 minutes remain. Here's Rachel Brewster working around the screen and shooting from about 25 feet. Just inside the three-point arc, but it goes. Aggies up 63-59 after that. Brewster kind of having a quiet night. That was only her 5th points of the night. And 1 of 6 from the field. Really hasn't been able to do a ton. 3 assists, a couple of rebounds. But that was your superstar last season, the junior. Just kind of having a rough go. Luckily for Utah State, several other players stepping up in her place. So Sadula with the inbound to Bayman. Bayman bringing it down the court. Utah State kind of laying off the full court press for now. Sadula shoots a long 2. Goes off the rim. Aggies rebound it. Deja Mason was there for it. Here comes West, kicks it out to Duffasy. Duffasy for 3 from the wing goes in. 66-59 Aggies. That was the 12th point of the night for Shannon Duffasy. 2 of 4 from 3. Here comes Bumgardner working her way into the lane, defended by Mason, can't get it to go. Great defense by the Aggies. Brewster coming back in transition, kicks it up to West. Olivia West adds to her total. 27 points for Olivia West. Make that 28, my apologies. Irvine on the other end, kicks it in, finds an open to Leah Garza on the block. Garza puts it up unguarded. UC Irvine now trailing 68-61, 5:57 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Another timeout called. We'll keep it here, go over, look at some of the team stats. Utah State shooting 46%, which has really been the biggest difference, that and turnovers for them, where they're winning both of those battles to 35% for the Anteaters. Also, three-pointers just falling for Utah State, 7 of 14. Big thanks to a couple of players in Shannon Duffasy and Olivia West, who are leading the charge there. Rebounding 26-24 for Utah State. However, it's the offensive rebounds that have been the story for the Anteaters, 16-6. UC Irvine leads in that category. So a little bit of frustration there for Utah State, but nevertheless, 7-point lead for the Aggies, who now have the ball. Bringing it down is Eliza West. Eliza West kicks it out to the left for Brewster. Brewster gets the screen set by Mason, and Brewster puts it up. Beautiful jump shot. She has got such a nice jump shot. Just really hasn't taken a ton tonight, but she knocks it down from about 20 feet. Utah State 70-61. You see Irvine's blanks tried to get it in, had it wrestled away by West, but Psyche somehow got her hands on it, shot up a three, couldn't get it to fall. Aggies grabbed the rebound, and foul called on UC Irvine's Talia Garza. So coming back down, here's Eliza West working against Psyche one-on-one. West beats Psyche out to the right, now coming up the left. Gets it into Deja Mason. Got it into Brewster, who handed off to Mason. So Brewster will get the assist. Mason puts Utah State up, though, 72-61. Utah State loving those inside shots, getting some easy points here in the fourth quarter. Baumgartner launched up a three from the wing, was no good. Aggies pick up the defensive rebound. Here comes Olivia West kicking over to Eliza. Eliza West going one-on-one against Psyche. Goes up, three players in the paint, and she beats all of them. Eliza West, 74-61 now for Utah State, starting to pull away. We'll see if the Irvine Anteaters have a little bit of a last fight in them here. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Aggies up 13. Here's Psyche working against West. Gets it up to Blanks, high post. Sanders over to Psyche. Psyche up at the wing. Psyche working in. Goes up against Deja Mason. Can't get it to fall. Once again, the Anteaters get the offensive rebound, though, and the easy points. Coming back in transition, though, flying down the court. Here's Olivia West. Puts it up. Getting even more onto her total. 30 points for Olivia West after that. She has been phenomenal. Baumgartner, top of the arc, starts to work her way in. She's fouled on the way in. It was before the shot that she put up, though. Foul on Rachel Brewster. Just her second foul, so no foul trouble there. It's like Talbert checking in for the Anteaters, as is Ritter. And for Utah State, Haley Bassett going to check in place of Deja Mason. Really kind of expected a big night from Andy Ritter, the one returning starter in the starting lineup tonight, but not a single point on just 2 shots, 10 minutes for Andy Ritter. So not nearly as large of a role as many people would have thought. Talbert, top of the arc, launches up a three, and somehow Irvine just keeps themselves in it on crazy plays like that. Irvine knocks down the three, 76-66 now, 10-point lead for Utah State. Here's Eliza West, gets it over to Brewster. Irvine playing aggressive defense near midcourt. Back to Eliza West. Eliza West going one-on-one. Bayman kicks it back out. And Rachel Brewster knocks down the three. Rachel Brewster from the wing. Must have heard my comments a few minutes ago about a slow start to the night, but she has really turned it on here the last few minutes. Back the other way. Irvine gets a three from the corner. Can't get it to go. Gets the rebound. Puts it up. Can't get that one to go. Gets another rebound. And Jordan Sanders gets it to finally fall for the Anteaters. The Utah State lack of defensive rebounds has been a little bit concerning, though. Here's Rachel Brewster up to Olivia West. Olivia West going one-on-one, working her way into the key. Olivia West puts up the finger roll, and 32 points for the sophomore. Aggies up 81-68, 2.5 to go. Utah State just needs to close this thing out. Bayman gets it out to Sanders. Sanders is fouled as she was working her way around. She is going to head to the line as that puts them in the bonus. So the shot wasn't, the foul wasn't on a shot, but that does put them on the line. So Sanders will head up 81-68. So Jordan Sanders in her freshman debut here for the Anteaters. Kind of a Pretty good start for the freshman. 11 points already tonight. 6 rebounds. Got a steal as well earlier. So 2:26 to go. Sanders' first free throw makes it 81-69. So nice fourth quarter for Utah State. Sanders' second shot goes as well, making it an 11-point game here with 2:26 to go. Irvine going with the full court trap. Eliza West, though, breaks it, at least for now. Taken away, though, as Eliza West got triple teamed. A lot of confusion with what's going on right now. Ball kind of went back across midcourt. Irvine in possession. I believe they thought West got fouled, but they're going to call a foul instead on Utah State. So once again, Irvine heading to the free throw line after that. Jesse Gear is checking in for Eliza West. I believe Eliza West just fouled out. So Gear checks in. Ritter has a couple of shots. She makes her first. Now a 10-point game, 2:17 remaining. Ritter with one more upcoming. And Ritter knocks down her second. Ritter, one of the greatest three-point shooters in UC Irvine history, had the best single season last year for three-point shooting. Hasn't even shot one tonight. I'm sorry, she shot one, but it was unsuccessful, and she's only shot 2 shots total. So Aggies bring it down across midcourt, and they're going to call a timeout. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Utah State a 9-point lead, 81-72 with 2:07 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Utah State being led by sophomore Olivia West, 32 points on 5 of 7 from 3, 10 of 16 from the field. Really just a phenomenal night all around for Olivia West. But other players really chipping in big time. Shannon Dufflesey with 12 and 11 rebounds on top of that. 3 assists. And Rachel Brewster, who's really kicked into the gear here in fourth quarter, 10 points and 4 assists, 3 rebounds for the junior. So will be Utah State ball once we resume play here. 2:07 to go, 81-72. Dufflesey inbounds to Brewster. Irvine playing really high on defense. Aggies break through it, though. Here's from the corner. Aggies check it up. That was Haley Bassett. Her shot wouldn't go, though. And Utah State grabs, can't quite wrangle in the rebound. UC Irvine has it. Bayman drives straight into the lane going up against Harris. Bayman gets it with the right-hander, lays it in, bringing the Anteaters down 74-81, making it a game. Looked like Utah State may be able to run away with it just a few minutes ago, but UC Irvine staying resilient. It's going to be a much better team than they had last season. Rachel Brewster goes flying into the lane. Put up a shot. Well, tried to put up a shot. Couldn't get it out. Looks like it was stolen away as she tried to drive in by UC Irvine, but rolls out of bounds, so Aggies will throw it in from the baseline. Brewster throws it in to Dufflesey. Dufflesey from about 10 on the baseline. Shoots. Can't get it to go. Irvine's there. Gets fouled going up for the rebound. So Irvine going to head to the line. Things really falling apart for Utah State. Had a comfortable 13-point lead a few minutes ago. Now it's 81-74. Minute 28 remaining, and UC Irvine has a couple of free throws upcoming with Garza heading to the line. So Talia Garza, one of 2 freshmen that started tonight for the Anteaters. Freshman out of Morgan Hill, California, makes the first free throw. 81-75. Utah State in the lead. Here comes the second. And Garza knocks down the second now. 16 points on the night. She leads the way for UC Irvine. Bringing it back down. Rachel Brewster is double teamed. Gets it over to Gear, who's triple teamed. Somehow breaks through, but then it's taken away under the hoop. UC Irvine coming back in transition. Here's Sanders. Sanders kicks it out to the right. Three-pointer goes up, and Andy Ritter connects from three. Folks, we have a game. It's a 2-point game. It was 13 just a couple of minutes ago, and that's a 2-point game. 81-79 with 1 minute to go. Utah State with the ball. Duffy goes over to Brewster. Brewster double team. Brewster works her way into the lane. She gets it up. She's fouled as she goes up. So she's going to head to the line for two. Things really starting to fall apart for Utah State, but still a 2-point lead. 48 seconds to go. They're going to be exhaling pretty hard if they can escape this one. The good news for Utah State is their top free throw shooter heading to the line in Rachel Brewster. Rachel Brewster tonight, 3 of 3, make that 4 of 4. She makes the first. Deja Mason checks in place of Utah State's Haley Bassett. And Sadula checking back in for UC Irvine in place of Sanders. So Rachel Brewster, one more shot, trying to put the Aggies up by 4. And she can't get the second. Irvine grabs the rebound. Sadula had the rebound. She's bringing it down. She drives right in past Harris. She goes up, makes the shot, and is fouled as she goes up. An and one shot coming up to try and tie things up for UC Irvine. What a wild finish going on here in Irvine, California. UC Irvine looked dead to rights just a couple of minutes ago. Now they have a free throw to tie things up. So Sadula will head to the line. There's a Yazi Sadula transfer from West Virginia. She's a sophomore guard, had to sit last season due to transfer rules. It's a huge free throw upcoming for the Anteaters. And she knocks it down. We have a tie game. 41.2 seconds remain, and a timeout is called by Utah State. Tie ball game might be quite the finish here. Utah State, as I said, you know, it's really just been a falling apart here. It was just moments ago. Utah State held at one point a 41-34 lead. I'm sorry, that was much earlier on, but just moments ago, 81-71 lead. Before that, 81-69. Before that, 81-68. They led 81-68, and now it's 82-82. So crazy run here by the Anteaters to now tie it up. 41 seconds to go. Coach Finkbeiner trying to draw something up for his Aggies, who are going to have the ball at least coming out of this. First game of the season for each team. A 1-0 record on the line. Haley Bassett will have the throw in. Utah State inbounding from the front court. Bassett passes it into Duffy. Duffy working up the baseline. Duffy kicks it out to the right side for Harris. Harris now coming up the baseline. Harris goes up, gets fouled as she goes up. Shot almost fell. She'll head to the line, though, for 2. Emmy Harris in her first ever game as a Utah State Aggie, taking some very important shots. The freshman for Utah State out of Danville, Kentucky, heading up to the line, trying to put the Aggies up. 82-82, 35 seconds remain. Pressure's on for the freshman. First shot goes. Emmy Harris, that's her 4th point of the night. Only 9 minutes, but they've got enough faith in her to have her in here in crunch time. Of course, part of that is Eliza West getting fouled out, and the second shot goes. Aggies up by 2. So cool, calm, and collected is the freshman who puts the Aggies up. 2 enormous free throws. Utah State leads 84-82, 35 seconds remain, and timeout called could be a wild finish. For UC Irvine, leading the way is Talia Garza, 16 points. But it's been really well distributed. 4 Anteaters in double digits, with Sadula, Sanders, and Blanks also getting up above 10 points. Leading the way on the boards is Sadula as well. So 14 points, 9 rebounds, and an assist, and 3 blocks. For Utah State, of course, Olivia West, who has just been phenomenal, 32 points. Behind that, Shannon Duffy with 12, Rachel Brewster with 11, Haley Bassett with 13. So 35 seconds to go. Aggies up by 2. UC Irvine ball. Players breaking timeout huddle. Couldn't ask for much more in a season opener than this. It's good to have college basketball back. On the court for Utah State, Bassett, Harris, Gear, Brewster, and Duffy. Interesting to not see Olivia West out there on the court. Oh, I suppose that's because she is fouled out as well. So each of the Wests have fouled out. So UC Irvine ball, Bayman has it. 21 seconds remain, about a 5-second differential between shot and game clock. 2-point game. Bayman starts to drive in, decides to kick it out, finds Ritter. Ritter goes inside. Ritter gets it to Sanders, and Sanders gets it up from below the hoop to tie things up. 9 seconds to go. Timeout called by the Aggies. 9.1 on the clock, 84-84. Nobody likes a blowout, right? Utah State, who once had a 13-point lead, decided to make it a little bit more of a game. Let UC Irvine go off on a nice little run here in the closing minutes, and all of a sudden, it's going to come down to this last possession. So Coach Finkbeiner drawing up a play. They have, as I said, they have 9 seconds to run it. They have been pretty good on inbound plays so far tonight. Let's see if they're able to keep that up. With 3:15 remaining in this game, Utah State had a 79-66 lead. Now it's 84-84. So heck of a 3 minutes here by UC Irvine. Teams headed back out onto the court. Thanks for tuning in with us here on Aggie Radio. Excited to be the Cache Valley affiliate for Utah State women's basketball, carrying every game this season. Again, 9.1 seconds remain, 84-84. Shannon Duffy will have the inbound for Utah State in the front court. She goes in to Brewster. Brewster's guarded by Sadula. Brewster one-on-one. Screen set by Duffy. It's taken away by Sadula. UC Irvine coming back. Duffy pokes it away. Half-court shot goes up by Blanks, and it falls! UC Irvine will win on a last-second buzzer beater from half-court. Officials have to take a look at it, make sure that it went, but what a finish here in Irvine, California. Cheerleaders have run out on the court, but officials telling them to head back off. They need to take a look at this. Utah State inbounded it. It was taken away. And just a freak shot, off balance, falling forward from just in front of half court. Somehow went in the hoop. Hit the back of the rim, bounced off the front of the rim, up into the air, and then fell. Absolute hysteria here in UC Irvine. That was Deja Blanks who made that shot. Well, supposedly made it. We will find out here in just a moment as again, they're looking at the replay. So all three officials huddled around the monitor. Entire crowd on their feet in suspense. I don't know if I've seen such a crazy finish, whether that goes or not. And it's good. UC Irvine wins their season opener against Utah State. What a finish. You're going to see that on SportsCenter tonight. 87-84. UC Irvine wins after just a freakish comeback. I mean, you couldn't do much more than what UC Irvine did to close this thing out. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but the fact of the matter is that was just a ridiculous finish. We're going to have a quick interview here with Coach Finkbeiner following that. Just a moment as we'll get his headset ready to go. All right, Coach, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Crazy finish. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, we gave it up. You know, we just gave it up totally. Had some really bad fouls by Eliza and Olivia. They're a lot smarter than that. Had a 11-point lead and had no ball handlers in the game. They put pressure on us and we couldn't hold it. So, yeah, I've seen it before. It's just too bad it happened to us.
So what really happened there? I mean, the last few minutes, like three minutes to go, and you guys had a 79-66 lead. What was it that UC Irvine started to do there? Was it the press?
Nothing at all. Our three best players fouled out, you know, or had 4 fouls. Olivia and Eliza fouled out. Shannon had played 4 fouls, and then we just played. You know, we're inexperienced, and they tasted blood. They got after us and turned the tide. So it was pretty easy to see from the floor, really, from that perspective. But I'm disappointed with Eliza and Olivia because they had. They just gave up cheap fouls, and they're smarter players than that. They should have been playing for 40 minutes.
So tough finish, but 32 points for Olivia West. Can you just talk about that in her first start?
Yeah, Olivia had a really nice game, obviously, stat-wise. She, you know, was just right on offensively, other than maybe her 4th or 5th foul. But you know, we're expecting a win tonight, and we're in the home, you know, basically in the driver's seat. And then really coughed it up literally. So it's a disappointing loss, even though it's the first game of the season.
All right, well, tough one. Thanks for joining me, though. We'll see you next week. All right, that was head coach Jerry Finkbeiner joining us. Appreciate him stopping by even after just an absolute heartbreaker for Utah State tonight. Wild finish. You know that they're going to be looking at. That film over and over again. I've said it a few times. 79-66 with 3:15 remaining, and somehow UC Irvine just stormed back and was able to steal that one. Utah State though fouled out. Eliza West and Olivia West fouled out, leaving freshman guard Emmy Harris, who really did, I mean, the best to her ability, knocked down a couple of free throws in the closing minutes. And just really tough situation guard-wise for Utah State to finish that out. Utah State going to start out the season 0-1, certainly a heartbreaker, especially after beating UC Irvine last season and the season that we saw UC Irvine had. This must have felt like a must-win, or a should-win, I should say, for the Aggies. Can't get it to go. Utah State going to be back at it November 14th against Dixie State. That's a noon game, and at the Spectrum. I know they're having a couple thousand elementary school kids there for that one, so that's always a fun one for Utah State's home opener. If you ever get out to Utah State women's athletics and get out and watch the Utah State women's basketball team, this is as fun as a game as you could possibly ask for, with a couple of thousand screaming elementary school kids there, and taking on an in-state team in Dixie State. They're also taking on next Friday big Pac-12 opponent Arizona on the 17th. That's 7 p.m. in the Spectrum. And then after that, a couple of road trips to Southern Utah and Idaho State. UC Irvine, on the flip side, they're going to be taking on other Mountain West team, UNLV, at UNLV, coming up on Tuesday. So certainly a disappointing loss for Utah State. Final stats, you look over it, Utah State went 50% from field goal from the floor, 50.9% on 29 of 57 shooting, 43% for UC Irvine. So the Aggies had them by a ways on that. Aggies knocked down 8 of 15 three-pointers. And it was really the rebounds that kept UC Irvine in it. Beat Utah State out 45-35 in the rebounding margin. And especially offensive rebounds, 19 offensive rebounds for the Anteaters. Leading the way for Utah State, Olivia West, 32 points, overshadowed by the loss, but you couldn't ask for too much more other than staying in the game, as she did pick up 5 fouls and had to leave early, but 32 points in 36 minutes. That's quite the efficiency from the sophomore in her first ever start as an Aggie. On top of that, 4 rebounds and an assist. Eliza West led the assist column for Utah State, 6 assists there. Only had 4 points, though. And in rebounding, Shannon Dufflesey with 11. She kind of did some of everything tonight. 11 rebounds, 12 points, 3 assists, and a steal on the night. Anyway, thanks for joining us here. We're, as I mentioned, we're going to have every single Utah State women's basketball game this season. I'll be on the call, home and away. This weekend, this coming Monday. As I mentioned, this coming Tuesday against Dixie State at noon. I'll be there for that one. Any non-conflicting games, so the games that are not at the same time as the men's games, will be streamed on 92.3 KBLU in Logan. Those that do interfere, we'll have the men's game streaming on there, and we will have our broadcast just streaming online, AggieRadio.com. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jaden Johnson. Utah State falls on a heartbreaker. Wild last-second shot. UC Irvine takes this one 87-84 here in Irvine, California. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back at it Tuesday afternoon.